Welcome to Biafra National Television and Radio, BNTBR, Voice of the Rising Sun, official broadcast station of the state of Biafra. This is Brief, built on truth, courage, and discipline. I'm your host, Pointer. This particular broadcast of Brief will be the first series on the breakdown of the address on the 50th commemoration of the Biafran Armed Forces Remembrance Day 2026 by His Excellency General Innocent N. ORJI, GCSB, Head of State Biafran Provincial Government BPG and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the State of Biafra. The ceremony was held on ORJI Ahia Afo, Saturday, 30th May 2026. With all protocols observed, he stated that it's an honor to gather in solemnity to remember and honor our Biafran heroes and heroines, living and deceased, whose patriotism proved that mankind could withstand genocide, mass killing, aggression, and war crimes. It's actually an honor to honor those that withstood genocide, mass killings, aggression, and war crimes from 1967 to 1970. Date. General Innocent N. ORJI, GCSB, who is the head of state BPG and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the State of Biafra, stated that in commemoration of the 50th Biafran Armed Forces Remembrance Day, he salutes, remember, and honor on behalf of the peoples and the government of the State of Biafra the following: Lieutenant Colonel Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, Major General Philip Effiong, Secretary Itinyong Udo Akpan, Honorable Sir Louis Mbanefo, Major Kaduna Nziogu, Major Timothy Onwatuegu, Major Humphrey Chukwuka, Major Herbert Okonkwo, Colonel Henry Igboga, Honorable Philip Alele, Honorable Sam Abani, Colonel Alexander Madiebo, Colonel Conrad Nwawo, Colonel Mike Ivenso, Colonel Asem Usudo, Lieutenant Colonel Joseph Achuzie, Major Obonaya Orji, Lieutenant Colonel David Okafo, Colonel Festus Akahara, Colonel Christian Ude, Major Jonathan Uchendu, Colonel Simon Uwakwe, Lieutenant Colonel Ifeanyi Anyabo, Colonel Obugo Kalo, Colonel Azuka Asoya, Sergeant Paul Dixon, Mazi Okoko Ndem, Captain Okechukwu Joseph Chibogo, Captain Osita Ebenezer, Sergeant Okudiri Chibuike, Captain John Uwoye, Captain Onyekachi Okoto, and also Eze Samson Madukwe Eze, Honorable Chief Lazarus O. Nnachi, Late Pa Okpai Nnachi Eze, Honorable Elder Paul Igwe, Professor Chinua Achebe, Honorable Christopher Okibo, Honorable Chiaka Ifemesia, Honorable Ikenna Nzimiru, Honorable Justice A.N. Aniagolu, Honorable Dr. Ifegu Eke, Honorable Eyo Basi Ndem, Honorable Emmanuel Obiachina, Honorable Godian Ezekwe, Honorable Benjamin Chukwuka Nwosu, Honorable Willie Achukwe, Colonel Ejike Obunneme Agaha, Honorable Dr. Uku I Uku, Honorable Dr. Oyoolu, Major Oloye, Honorable M.T. Mbu, Colonel David Ogunewe, including Honorable Chude Soke, Honorable Godwin Ezilo, Captain Njeze, Brigadier Hilary Njoku, Honorable Winifred Anuku, Chief Frank Opigo, Maazi Akanu Ibiam, Maazi Sam Mbakwe, Maazi Michael Opara, Honorable John Brown, Honorable Carl Gustavo von Rosen, Honorable Taffy Williams, Honorable Rolf Sternan, Honorable Bruce Mayrock, Honorable Jean Paul Sartre, Honorable Frank Sois Morris, Honorable John Lennon, Honorable John Boahez, Honorable Jimi Hendrix, Professor Godian Ezekwe, Honorable Sylvester Aknonu, Honorable Benjamin Moosu, Honorable Willie Achukwu, Honorable Simon Okeke, and so many others, too numerous to mention. He stated that he recognized the efforts of countries, donors, and humanitarian societies that actively participated in preserving the lives and future of indigenous Biafrans during the Nigerian Biafran Civil War of 1967 to 70. That in preserving the memories of our forebears seeks to set the record straight on the lies and distortion of facts presented by former Nigerian head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, in his autobiography titled My Life of Duty and Allegiance, unveiled on May 19, 2026 in Abuja. General Gowon had claimed that Lieutenant Colonel Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu had mortgaged the mineral resources in Biafran land to the Rothschild in exchange for France to support the independent Republic of Biafra. General Yakubu also accused the late Biafran leader, Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, of frustrating peace initiatives by misinterpreting the Abori Peace Accord signed by both of them on January 1967. Same Gowon denied the assistance of the British and American government in procurement of arms and ammunition for the Nigerian side, which made him turn to the Soviet Union. For the record, for the survival of the indigenous Biafrans, it is expected that the head of state and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Independent Republic of Biafra, which was then Lieutenant Colonel Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, after declaration of independence on 30th May 1967, in the capacity as the head of state, he has that support of indigenous Biafrans to enter into any form of agreement with any state or entity on behalf of his people in exchange of whatever help or assistance to withstand the area bombardment, artillery ground assault, blockade, and starvation. You don't expect when the front eastern region was under assault, artillery ground assault, blockade, area bombardment, you don't expect him not to have an agreement with other nation, other entity, or other individuals or group. Because as the head of state, he has that power given by his people. So whatever accusation by Gowon is actually to beat a dead man. His personalization of whatever deal by the Nigerian consulate that was intercepted by the Nigerian consulate is an exhibition of immaturity and misinformation, because the Biafran government led by Lieutenant Colonel Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu was an established government. If he, Gowon, can enter into agreement with the Soviet Union, the British, why can't Lieutenant Colonel Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu enter into agreement with the Rothschild? And we've not even confirmed if the whatever interception by the Nigerian consulate in New York is real. If at all it is real, Lieutenant Colonel Dim Chukwuemeka Odumegwu, as the head of state and commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the Independent Republic of Biafra, has the full backing and the capacity to enter into any agreement with any state or entity on behalf of his people in exchange for whatever assistance to preserve the lives and properties of his people. This brings me to the end of the part 1 in the series of the address on the 5th year commemoration of the Biafran Armed Forces Remembrance Day 2026 by His Excellency General Innocent N. ORJI, GCSB, Head of State, BPG and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the State of Biafra. You'll watch out for part 2 of that series on Brief, Built on Truth, Courage and Discipline, on Biafran National Television and Radio, BNTVR, Voice of the Rising Sun, official broadcast station of the State of Biafra. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms. I'm your host, Pointer. Take care.